Hi there, Maccoe here. I'm going to show you how I use references. Now, there isn't a wrong or way to do it, but you want to keep in mind of a few things. This is a reference I found on Pinterest. It's a pretty simple picture, but it's a good start. It has some really good shapes to it, as you can see. It's normal, and it probably would take me, oh my god, I can't remember my words. It'd probably take me a little bit to do. Well, first off, I draw out how big the reference picture is on the side so I can keep how much space there is in the picture, if that makes sense. It can help keep everything spaced out and the proportions right. Next thing I'll do is I'll break down the image into certain shapes to see, I can see. So the shoulders and the chest, and then the head and the arms, as I'm about to draw. The way I sketch out the bodies is weird, I can admit, but it works for me. Always do things that work for you and feel comfortable with the way you draw. I do recommend looking at other people on YouTube. I'm not as experienced as I would hope to think I am, but yeah. Man, that's some beautiful sketches. But I recommend you look at people like Sycra or Mark Crilly or Draw with Jazza. Those are some pretty good YouTubers I've watched in the past, and I still watch them today. What I do now is I'll look at speed paints and kind of study how people kind of paint and stuff like that. So it's good to always look at things with a critical eye, I like to think. Next, I do go in and I'll fix my lines and I'll add detail and I'll look back at the reference picture. I don't use the reference picture to the T at sometimes. As you can see, I'm using it for a character. But yeah, she, it's not good sometimes to use. I don't know where I'm going with that. Alright. Before I go on, there is something I'd like to preface. This isn't a tutorial on how to draw bodies and such. It's a tutorial on it's not really a tutorial, it's just how I use my references, and I might not be doing it the right way, but I felt like I should share. Well, what I'm doing right now is I am, putting in more detail and, hold on, I gotta look at my notes. And, I made a new layer, and I lowered the opacity on the lines I just made. What I do next is I'll put in more detail, like I said, and pay attention to the things, where things are placed, and such when doing this stage. Any mistakes I made in the other picture can be polished here, and, gotta make that look hot. Oh my god. Well, I would like to talk about something I've noticed with beginner artists I am pretty beginner, but, and I've done this before. We've all used bases at one point, and really, they don't help. When I did them, it didn't really feel like they were helping me at all. Then again, I was really young when I did it, but even now, I hate to admit, but I do them for fun sometimes. But, what I mean is, drawing over art to make your characters and such isn't really a good practice. It can stifle your practicing. Yeah, it might help with clothing and stuff, but when you go to draw your bodies and such, and the clothing and details, it doesn't add up. It might make you think, I've used bases as a kid, and I drew over those OC memes on my own time just to play around. I feel like they're fun and they can help, you know, in some cases if you just want to get some creativity out and don't really want to worry. But I also use Pinterest and stuff to find references, and sometimes I'll use those already drawn references as shown here. They seem like a pretty great artist. I looked through their Instagram really quick and their art's really good. I'm gonna end this on a few notes. I'll usually use references for practice if I'm talking about the already drawn ones most of the time. And if I like a pose a lot, I'll color it and, you know, line it and stuff, just like the one that I showed you. I'm going to leave a few links in the description of those YouTubers I talked about, and Pinterest, or my Pinterest boards, I guess. You know, I forgot the joke. Wow, okay. Well, I think that's good for now. I'm not sure if I'm going to make any videos soon. I'm really busy with life right now. I'm a senior in high school. So, this was my first video talking in a long time. So I'm sorry if I sounded kind of nervous, and, you know, that's just life, you know? Alright, thank you. And I'm going to leave this video with the rest of my sketch, and you can see my process and stuff. This was a really great learning experience, trying to analyze my own process and all that stuff. It seems it's gonna help me in the future too. Thank you for watching.